So guys, right? Good morning. Hope everybody been doing well. Hope everybody been taking care of themselves. Hope everybody been just doing what's needed, the necessary steps to progress, to be your best self, right? To be better today than you were yesterday, because that's our goal, that's our aim. But today I'll speak about this is a very, very important lesson that we can learn. Today I'll speak about a great philosopher, one of the greatest philosophers ever known to human, ever known to man. His name is Seneca, Lucius Aniscus Seneca, right? His name is Seneca, and born in Rome in Italy, died in 65 AD, things of that nature. One of the famous lines that he's ever said, one of the famous lines that really, even up to this day, is still spoken of, and it still makes you think and wonder deeply when it's said, is we suffer more in imagination than what we do in reality. So we suffer more in imagination than what we do in reality. What does that mean, right? It means that all men do suffer. We all suffer, whether physically, mentally, and so forth. But the suffering is obviously he's talking about a mental suffering. We suffer more in imagination than what we do in reality, meaning that we get anxious about the things that doesn't happen as yet, because our mind wonders and thinks deeply on certain things. Whether we get sent to the principal office as a kid and we're thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm about to get suspended, I'm about to get detention, I'm about to get demerit, they're about to call my parents, and we start to panic, we start to feel uncertain, we start to feel uneasy about every single thing, even though the thing that we're thinking about hasn't occurred as yet, right? So we suffer more in imagination than in reality, and that's one of the primary examples. Or for instance, you may have said something bad to a friend, and you're like, okay, this person will not talk to me again. Oh my gosh, they turn off their phone, it's over. So before you even know, or you got the confirmation from them that it's over, what did you do? We started to think, we started to get uneasy, we started to say, damn, I messed up there. And we started to put our mind through all these dark imaginings that have not even come into reality yet, right? So we suffer more in imagination than in reality. But what I want to say, what you're facing, are you really suffering? So what you're facing, are you really suffering? Like, think about it. And it does play about in terms of we suffer more in imagination than in reality, right? So what you're facing, we're thinking that this is going wrong. Damn, all these obstacles are coming my way. All these walls are being brought up in front of me. It gets harder, it gets harder. One thing after the next, trial and error. One thing after the next, constant battle, every day. Bam, bam, it gets harder. Damn, what am I about to do here? Bam, I fixed this problem, found the solution to this, got the answer. Something else arises. Damn, it just sucks. And then next thing you know, it's like, wow, at the end of the day, could be the end of the day, maybe it's the end of the week, because you may be probably having a very shitty week right now, probably having the worst day of your life right now, the worst week, the worst month. But like, when the beginning of the new, when after the night, after the night has appeared upon us, and we go to sleep, and the dawn arises, and the dawn of a new day arises, right? We realize that we survived. Like, the thing that we really thought was about to break us so severely, the thing that we really like, damn, this is it, it's probably over, I should probably just kill myself right now. And you look back at it, you look back at the situation that really had you wondering, being anxious, being scared, being frightened of the outcome that hasn't even arisen, of the outcome that's not even there yet. And it's like, and you realize that, damn, I made it through. Like, I really made it through one of the shittiest period of my life, one of the shittiest days of my life, one of the shittiest weeks, months of my life. When I'm struggling financially, paying bills to bills, struggling financially, trying to figure it out one day at a time. But in the same breath, while trying to figure out, you're still progressing. And it's like, bam, I survived. It's like, I can really survive anything. I can really overcome anything. And then it hits you now. Was I really suffering? Or was I thinking I was suffering by thinking about all these dark imaginings? Like, am I really, truly suffering? And like, that is the question today, right? The question today is, are you really suffering, or you think that you're suffering? Think about it. I just want you to think about it today, right? The thing that you're facing, are you really suffering? Because we do know, everybody do suffer. Everybody do have to go through trial and error. There's always something. Ups and downs, the uncertainty of lives, all these unexpected things, right? Which is very, very much accurate, right? But in the same breath, you survived. In the same breath, you realize, wow, it really wasn't as bad as I planned it out or I perceived that it would have been. And then here I am, 3 hours later, smiling. Because I survived. It's like, I really got through it. You really got through it. So we suffer more in imagination than reality, which we won't ever stop doing that, by the way. We won't ever stop. But just to keep it under control, what we must do, what must get done, is that we must. So what we must do, what must gets done, right? Hold on 1 second. But there's literally a big hole right there. I like. Okay, I was just talking about that other driver because he just pulled up in the road and there's a big hole on my side. But it's like, okay, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Would we ever stop? I doubt it. But we're human beings. We're going to fall. We're faulty. We're human. We're creatures of faults. But within our fault, we do grow. So what we must remember is that this too shall pass. We don't need to remember that, yo, I'm just overthinking the situation, or it's just harsh, I'm just overthinking it. The outcome I have not coming, I'm just very, very much overthinking it. You may be thinking about overthinking, but in the grand scheme of the moment, you're not thinking that you're overthinking the situation. What we must remember when the suffering, really, when we put ourselves through that dark imaginings, what we must remember is that this too shall pass. And I will overcome this. Once again, I will rise. Once again, the dawn of a new day will appear. And once again, I will make it out alive. So keep going. Try to keep a level head. Try to keep focused. Try to understand that very terrible period that you're facing right now. And even if you're watching this when you're facing such a terrible video, it's like, maybe I am going through pain. But is it really as bad? No. So am I really suffering as bad as I am? No. Keep going. Think on these things. Ask yourself these questions. Understand that we do suffer more. We do suffer in imagination than what we do in reality. Right? So keep going.